From the lush rainforests of the Western Ghats to the bustling spice markets of Kerala, India has long been synonymous with the tantalizing aroma and fiery kick of pepper. This humble spice, known as black gold, played a pivotal role in shaping the course of history, attracting traders and explorers from distant lands for centuries. But what if we could turn back the hands of time? Imagine a world where the pepper vine never found its way to Indian shores. How would the absence of this sought-after spice have altered the fate of a nation and its interactions with the world? Would the allure of India have dimmed without the promise of peppercorns? Join us now as we embark on a hypothetical journey exploring the potential ramifications of a world where India never cultivated pepper. A journey through the intricate tapestry of history, economics, and cultural exchange, where the absence of a single spice could have rewritten the narrative of a nation.
For centuries, the spice routes crisscrossed the globe, connecting the East and West in a vibrant network of trade and cultural exchange. Pepper, originating from India, held a place of honor among these prized commodities, its value equivalent to gold in the eyes of many. European appetites particularly were captivated by the fiery spice. Pepper became a symbol of luxury and a testament to the wealth of those who could afford it. This insatiable demand fueled a relentless quest for a direct sea route to India, bypassing the treacherous land routes controlled by Arab traders. Without the allure of pepper, would European explorers have been as driven to seek out a new path to the east? The voyages of Vasco da Gama, Bartholomew Diaz, and others, driven by the promise of pepper and other eastern spices, might have been delayed or never undertaken at all. The age of exploration, a pivotal chapter in human history, might have unfolded quite differently, with far-reaching consequences for globalization, colonialism, and the interconnected world we live in today. Would the European powers have turned their attention elsewhere, their colonial ambitions redirected towards other lucrative resources in Africa or the Americas? The absence of pepper, a seemingly small change, could have rippled through time, altering the course of global exploration and reshaping the geopolitical landscape we know today.
The fertile plains and rolling hills of South India, particularly the regions of Kerala and Tamil Nadu, provided the ideal climate for pepper cultivation. For millennia, these regions thrived as centers of the pepper trade, shaping the economic and social fabric of the land. Imagine these landscapes transformed. Without the demand for pepper, the vast networks of pepper plantations that once dominated these regions might never have existed. The lucrative trade that brought prosperity to local rulers and merchants, fueling the growth of powerful empires, would have followed a different trajectory. Would other spices, such as turmeric, cardamom, or ginger, have risen to fill the void, shaping a different flavor profile for Indian cuisine and international trade? The absence of pepper might have led to the cultivation of alternative crops, impacting agricultural practices, land use, and even the biodiversity of the region. The social hierarchy, influenced by the wealth and influence associated with the pepper trade, might have evolved along different lines, creating an alternate societal structure in South India. The very identity of Kerala, often referred to as the Spice Garden of India, could have been fundamentally different, shaped by the cultivation of other crops and the flow of alternative trade goods.
The allure of pepper did more than just stimulate palates. It acted as a catalyst for cultural exchange between distant civilizations. Traders, traversing land and sea, carried with them not just spices, but also ideas, languages, and customs. Imagine a world where the flow of these exchanges is diminished. Without pepper as a primary trading commodity, Would the interactions between India and other civilizations have been as frequent or as impactful? The cultural fusion that occurred along these ancient trade routes, leaving an indelible mark on art, architecture, cuisine, and even religious practices, might have been less pronounced. Would the spread of Buddhism to Southeast Asia, facilitated by trade networks, have been as widespread or as influential? The absence of pepper, a seemingly simple spice, had the potential to reshape the cultural landscape of not just India, but also the numerous civilizations touched by the ancient spice routes. It compels us to ponder the interconnectedness of our world and the profound influence that seemingly small objects, like a humble peppercorn, can have on the grand tapestry of human civilization.
The quest for spices, particularly pepper, played a significant role in shaping European colonialism. The desire to control the source of this valuable commodity fueled ambitions of conquest and domination.
Would the absence of pepper have quelled this insatiable appetite for control? European powers, less driven by the pepper trade, might have focused their colonial ambitions on other parts of the world.
The Americas, rich in silver and gold, might have faced even more aggressive exploitation. Africa, already entangled in the tragic slave trade, might have seen a different, potentially even more brutal form of colonial domination.
Alternatively, would the absence of pepper have delayed European colonialism in India altogether? Without the immediate economic incentive, European powers might have been content with establishing trading posts rather than pursuing outright conquest.
This delay could have allowed Indian rulers more time to consolidate their power, potentially altering the power dynamics of the region and shaping a different course for India's history. The Mughal Empire, for instance, might have had a different trajectory. Its fate intertwined with a world less influenced by the European quest for spices.
For millennia, the Indian Ocean bustled with ships laden with spices, silk, and precious goods, connecting the subcontinent to the Middle East, Africa, and Southeast Asia. Pepper, a cornerstone of this maritime trade, dictated the routes these ships sailed and the relationships forged between nations.
Imagine a world where this maritime network is redrawn. Without pepper as a primary cargo, the maritime trade routes might have evolved differently.
Would the ancient ports of Calicut, Cochin, and Surat, once bustling hubs of the pepper trade, have risen to such prominence? Other goods, perhaps textiles from the looms of India or the aromatic spices of the East Indies, might have taken center stage.
This shift in trade patterns could have elevated the importance of different port cities, reshaping the economic and political landscape of the Indian Ocean region.
The powerful Chola dynasty, whose maritime prowess was built on the spice trade, might have found a different path to dominance. The influence of Arab traders, who controlled much of the pepper trade, might have waned, giving rise to new maritime powers in the region.
Chapter 6. A world of flavor transformed, the spice of life reimagined. From the hearty stews of medieval Europe to the sophisticated curries of the Mughal courts, pepper has left an indelible mark on the culinary traditions of the world. Imagine a world where cooks and chefs had to explore alternative avenues of flavor. European cuisine, heavily reliant on pepper during the Middle Ages, might have developed a completely different flavor profile. Local herbs like mustard seed or caraway might have been used more prominently, creating unique dishes and culinary traditions. The absence of pepper might have even spurred the search for new spices, leading to the discovery and incorporation of different flavors from around the world. In India, while other spices abound, the absence of pepper would have undoubtedly influenced the evolution of its diverse regional cuisines. Would the fiery vindaloo of Goa or the aromatic chettinad curries of Tamil Nadu have evolved with the same intensity without the distinct bite of black pepper? The global culinary landscape, a testament to centuries of cultural exchange and culinary innovation, would have looked remarkably different, shaped by the flavors of alternative spices and the creativity of cooks adapting to a world without pepper.
Chapter 7. The Farmer's Fields, a Tapestry of Change. Imagine the vast landscapes of India, its fertile plains and verdant valleys, transformed by the absence of pepper plantations. Generations of farmers whose livelihoods were intertwined with the cultivation and trade of this spice would have adapted to a different agricultural reality. Would they have turned to other spices, cultivating turmeric, ginger, cardamom, or chilies to meet the demands of a world hungry for flavor? Or would the absence of pepper have led to a greater focus on other crops, perhaps cotton, indigo, or sugarcane, shaping a different agricultural landscape? This shift in agricultural practices could have had profound ecological consequences. Different crops require different farming techniques, impacting soil fertility, water usage, and even the biodiversity of the land. The absence of pepper plantations might have led to the flourishing of different plant and animal species, creating a distinct ecological balance in the regions once dominated by pepper vines. The very rhythm of life in rural India, dictated by the seasons of planting and harvesting, would have followed a different beat, shaped by the demands of alternative crops and the ebb and flow of a world without pepper.
Chapter 8. Legacies of Empire. A different shade of colonialism. The colonial exploitation of India, driven by the insatiable European appetite for resources, left a lasting impact on the subcontinent. But how would this narrative of exploitation and resistance have unfolded in a world where pepper was not a driving force? European powers, less focused on controlling the pepper trade, might have turned their attention to other lucrative resources. Cotton, tea, and indigo, already prized commodities, might have become even more central to their colonial ambitions. The vast plantations that transformed the Indian landscape, often at the expense of local farmers and traditional practices, might have been even more extensive, catering to the demands of a global market hungry for these goods. Alternatively, the absence of pepper might have led to a different form of colonial control. Without the immediate economic imperative, European powers might have focused on establishing stronger political and administrative structures to facilitate the extraction of other resources. This could have resulted in a more entrenched bureaucracy, potentially influencing the development of India's post-colonial political systems. The struggle for independence, fueled by the desire to break free from colonial exploitation, might have taken a different course, shaped by the specific grievances and aspirations of a nation whose colonial experience had been moulded by the absence of the pepper trade.
Chapter 9. A World Reimagined, the Enduring Impact of a Missing Spice. Our journey through a hypothetical India, devoid of the pungent allure of pepper, reveals the profound and often unforeseen ways in which a single spice can shape the destiny of nations. The absence of pepper, while seemingly insignificant, could have dramatically altered India's economic trajectory, its cultural exchanges with the world, and the very nature of its encounter with European colonialism. The spice trade, with pepper as its crown jewel, acted as a catalyst for exploration, innovation, and cultural fusion. Its absence compels us to consider the intricate web of connections that bind our world together, highlighting how seemingly small changes can ripple through time, creating a vastly different present. As we conclude our exploration of this alternate reality, we are reminded that history, much like the delicate balance of flavors in a well-spiced dish, is a tapestry woven from countless threads. The absence of even one thread, like the pungent spice that once captivated the world, can alter the pattern, leaving us to ponder the infinite possibilities of a world reimagined.